Sometimes plans just don't work out, and the adventure becomes the struggle to find new places to go. Welcome to another episode of Coddiwomple Overland. This week's adventure started out with a plan to go to the Pickett State Forest in Tennessee, explore that area, and work our way back up into the Big South Fork area. The trip began early in the morning with lots of rain in the forecast. We met up with Mike and Laura and our new friend Brad. We made it to Pickett State Forest and made the customary preparations to hit the dirt. Once we got aired down, we made our way onto the gravel and dirt roads. We quickly realized that this area looked a lot like home in the way that the trees had fallen from the ice storm. It wasn't long before we started running into total roadblocks. Every direction that we tried to go was covered in downed trees.
Let's keep going and see how far we can get. I mean, I think no matter where we go, we're going to have to deal with this. Unless we go to a totally different area. Over too far and you get, if it's not hard, that's the only thing, huh? Yeah, oh my.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As far as you can see down through, there's trees down.
I don't know where we're going to go then. Oh my gosh.
Why do we stop?
We tried one last attempt at making it to Black House Mountain Road, and again were shut down by fallen trees. It was time to change from Plan A to Plan B. We decided to abandon Pickett State Forest and head south towards the Katusa WMA, a place we had been before, but we had not explored the western side. Once we got to Coddiwomple, we found all of the gates closed. There wasn't any explanation on their website, but we did find a Facebook post saying that it was going to be closed till the end of March. It was getting late. We found an open campground that was primitive, and it was next to one of the game checking stations. We decided to set up there for the night to try to decide what we're going to do for the next 2 or 3 days. We had some extra help for camp setup this trip and to help keep us company. Kay and Liam, 2 of our grandkids, joined us for this adventure. As Deb fixed a delicious spaghetti dinner, the kids were able to burn off a little bit of energy, and we were able to relax by the new propane campfire. We'll do a complete review on it, but I can already tell you that this thing is really nice. As we ate an incredible breakfast, we finalized our plans. We decided to leave Katusa and head a little farther south. It was time to air up in preparation for about a 3-hour road trip. When you're in this part of the world, you have to stop and get some roadside barbecue. This place was perfect. After some unbelievable barbecue, it was time to get back on the road. Today's trip was taking us farther south into Tennessee. This is Nickajack Lake. We were going even farther south. Yep, we were going to hit the Georgia Traverse. The weather was supposed to be clearer and warmer down here, and this was a trail that none of us in the group had ever done. The plan was to start on the west side over close to the Alabama border and make our way east. And just like we had hoped, it wasn't long at all before we found ourselves off pavement. By this time, we had put quite a few miles down, and it was time to start looking for a place to set up camp. There were several spots within this area that had been logged. We decided to use one of those for our camp for the night. Dinners for the weekend was mainly circled around pasta or Italian, mainly because we knew the grandkids would eat it. After another incredible dinner, we all just hung around the fire and enjoyed each other's company. The next morning, the sunrise was something out of a storybook. That morning, Lora, Mike, and Brad created a masterpiece of a breakfast on Brad's scuttle. The kids continued to be kids just like we did when we grew up, not an electronic in sight.
have more eggs too if we need it.
Yeah, I've got.
That's the way I cook right there. Throw that shell in there.
Is that enough?
I think so.
I'm gonna put these over here.
Okay.
These are pretty soft.
Oh, that looks good.
How many Overlanders does it take to make burritos? A bunch.
Well, until you figure out how to do it.
Off for her.
I guess the only thing I forgot was salsa.
After a hearty breakfast and cleaning up camp, it was time to get back on the trail. The skies were sunny and we knew it was going to be a good day. This was the first day of daylight savings time and we knew we were going to be able to ride late up into the evening. It was pretty cool to see that in early March, spring had already sprung in this area. As we made our way across the west side of the Georgia Traverse, we quickly realized that there was a lot of farming communities in this area. It was very scenic, but there just wasn't any dirt. We quickly found why there wasn't a whole lot of videos on the western side of the Traverse. It's because it's mainly all blacktop.
Pretty much all blacktop.
West side of it is, for sure. As the mountains came closer to us in the distance, we could only hope for one thing. We were looking for dirt. Once again, the off blacktop section didn't last very long, and here we were back on the pavement. The blacktop was pretty much the theme for the rest of the afternoon. We had one more hope, and we're looking to have a campsite along the river.
There's water. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this river would have been perfect to camp beside. There just wasn't any camping opportunities. On this very short section of gravel road, we just didn't find anything. It was time to find another plan. And unfortunately, that plan meant more blacktop. We made our way into the Rock Creek Recreation Area in hopes of finding a good campsite. We found a really nice dispersed campsite beside a creek and decided to call it home for the night. The next morning looked like the rain was going to catch back up with us today. We all had at least a 7 to 7.5 hour drive back home, and we knew that any further down the trail we went would only mean that we were farther away from home. At that point, we decided to have another big breakfast and make our way home. After breakfast, we packed everything up and put an end to this adventure. We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Coddiwomple Overland. Remember, leave us a comment below, let us know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, see ya.